You're listening to the Anxiety Ridden Moms Club, Season 2. I'm Kylie.
And I'm Gina. Real moms, real anxiety, real conversations. Let's dive in because chaos is our cardio.
Welcome back to the Anxiety Ridden Moms Club, the safe space for anxious moms who are just trying to keep it together one target run at a time. I'm Kylie.
And I'm Gina. And today we're talking about something that hits very close to home. Literally, our relationship with our homes.
For a lot of us, our home is supposed to be our sanctuary, but it also can become the biggest trigger for our anxiety. When you walk in the door and instantly feel your chest tighten because there's piles, toys, laundry, dishes, mail, it's real. That's anxiety.
Yes, a clean home doesn't mean you're a better mom, but a cluttered environment can absolutely increase the mental load and your stress hormones.
Yes. I have been trying to, I want to be a minimalist. I currently am not anywhere close to being a minimalist. So I've mentioned it before, but I bought my grandma and grandpa's house. My grandpa passed away years and years prior. And then my grandma wanted to, I say downsize, but she actually ended up with a bigger house, but it was a duplex, so less like yard maintenance and stuff. But anyway, when she moved out, she took what she wanted. Mm-hmm. And then like, as we sit in my basement with open rafters, like you can look up and not one single thing up there, except for some things I have for sound, are mine. So she took what she wanted, and I was left with a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And then I just have a lot of shit. So I want to, this episode is something I wanted to do to help motivate me, and hopefully I will document some of the process on our socials and or on TikTok. Mm-hmm. Because I want my place right now, my home gives me anxiety. It is not my sanctuary. I'm here all the freaking time. I work here. I live here. I sleep here. I eat here. Everything is here. And
I think that's the thing. I think like clutter, here's the thing. Obviously everybody can say, it can be an eyesore, obviously, but really, truly, I think more than anything, it's actually measurable mental weight.
1000%.
Yeah. So as you honestly are, like you have this in your mind and you sit around and you look at different things, it just is it's a mental weight. One is like, how do I attack it? What do I do next to get out from underneath it? Then now do I really even have the energy to do it? And so, here's even some fun facts for everybody. Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. 40% of housework is caused by clutter.
Word.
And, yeah. And the one thing I always notice is like, before you clean, you got to pick your shit up, or you really can't clean. And so then you really do realize I got a lot of shit. You know what I mean? And so like Tom and I before at least always, especially when we had the kids, I would say like every Saturday we had a routine that we would have to get and clean the whole house. So every Saturday he did all the floors. And then he would usually like kind of help pick some different things up, make our bed, some stuff like that. And then I would go around and I would clean the kitchen and, like shower, toilets, that kind of stuff. And it was amazing to me how much you have to pick a bunch of shit up before you even get to wipe it all down. So when you really think about clutter and doing, being a minimalist, probably they're way happier because they don't have near the cleaning shit to sit and do all the time. So we spend 5,000 hours looking for lost stuff.
Oh, fucking more than that. If you've been along on our journey,
you're at least double.
At least
everybody else. But if you think about it, how many times, just we've talked about the past about the guys who can't find shit in like a pantry or think about all the things.
Well, that's just because they put forth zero fucking effort to find what they're actually looking for. They just know we'll help, but that's beside the point.
But damn well that there's always kids lose shit all the time. Husbands lose shit all the time. And moms are supposed to know where all this shit is. But so that means we're going to spend all these hours. We're probably usually 5,000 hours worth of other people's shit, not our own.
Probably. And here's one. The average home has about 300,000 items. And every single one is something that we have to mentally store, clean, or track. $300,000. not dollars. I really want $300,000. And I would love if my house had $300,000, but instead 300,000 items. And again, mine's probably double.
Well, did you know that 1 in 4 garages can't fit a car because of how much shit is in their garage? Now, I will tell you, I have never lived like that. But that's because I grew up with a father who has like the most immaculate garage you could eat off of the garage floor. Like it's like being in your house. And he always said your garage is an extension of your home. And so you should use it that way. So he always has had great cabinets, just beautiful. I had a teacher, I think I might even say this in another episode, but I had a teacher who drove by my house and she saw me at school that day and she's like, I have to tell you something. I said, what? She goes, I've never seen a garage so dang clean. I almost wrecked my car. I was seriously staring at your garage because it was open and I was laughing, but to me it was normal. So whenever I see how many people actually have their garages just full of shit and cannot use the garage, I'm like, first off, I'm a pampered butt who has to have a garage just because I don't want to brush off snow and I'm too lazy for that and too pampered to be that cold. But the other thing is that when you have that much crap, don't you have to wonder, like, there's no way in hell you're using that much shit.
For sure.
Get rid of it.
I don't have that problem with my garage.
And so clutter can reduce productivity by 25%. That's a lot.
Oh, I'm
really.
sure. Yeah, probably more than that for me. Oh. Who is most impacted by clutter induced, or who, moms? Women.
Okay, wait, let me think. It must be the mom.
Always. It's always her fault. It's always her problem.
Yes.
Women, specifically moms, are the group most impacted by clutter-induced stress.
Yes, which is why we need to learn about The Minimalist. Is it on Netflix? Is that on Netflix?
Yeah, there's like a series, but
I know my mom watched it. My mom is very organized, but I'm nowhere near as organized. I mean, I should be like super crazy organized because both my parents are, but I'm not. But I'm not. I just have my own, I guess, unique system. So I don't have like clutter everywhere by any means, but I just don't have quite the systems that they have in place. But she even watched it and she was like, oh my God, it was the best thing. So I know I need to watch it.
Oh, then I need
to. Planning to learn.
I probably watched it and I was going to do it and then I never did. And now I can't remember.
Yeah. But I do think most people who have they do have a lot of stuff, I think their anxiety is always worse, even though they think it's not a problem.
This is absolutely why our anxiety spikes. We think it's just a mess, but it's actually overwhelmed disguised as laundry baskets, and everything takes longer because you can't find it. Everything needs to have a home. So
yes, it does. And if it doesn't have a home, that's when you need to start thinking about those items. So let's give some practical tips, because we don't want to just say clean your house, because that's just not realistic.
Oh, I need to do that too.
But you really can't. You really cannot keep your house clean. I don't really feel like anybody that I've ever known that has a lot of clutter, they struggle to keep it clean. But it's really because of the clutter. I mean, and it's a bigger job to clean. So you got to start somewhere. So you got to take one space at a time, not the whole house. Like let's pick a drawer, a counter, a toy bin, the small things. When we were talking about money, I think it's kind of the same thing. It was like when you got to feel like you win. So I think, when you were saying that you're supposed to put all of your money in a list, and at the bottom of the list is like your smallest amount. We don't worry about the interest rates. We worry about smallest amounts. So we can feel like, oh, that's a win. I think that's what I do a lot of times. I think when it comes down to it, I'll be like, I want to organize like this drawer today, because it's just a smaller thing to go through. But when so much shit is in, especially a junk drawer, and then you clean it out and you're like, oh my God, I just dumped out all that crap and look how nice and clean this is. And then you move on and you're like, okay. And then maybe tomorrow or the next day I'm going to clean something else out. Right now I have to clean my laundry room. It's just ridiculous, but it's a bigger job, but I have to clean it. I think it's one of my obsessions on TikTok currently, but it's someone I follow that goes in, and I'm pretty sure she does it for free, and she's a freaking angel, but she goes in to moms' houses that are just overwhelmed and mental disorder, whether it's stress, anxiety, depression, whatever it is. But then when shit gets out of control, and I literally was watching some of her shorts in this bedroom
and I was like, oh my gosh. But a lot of any decluttering, Marie Kondo, minimalist, declutter crap, they always say like, okay, let's take a bedroom, for example. Take everything out of the closet. Take everything. Well, when you suffer from anxiety, I almost feel, and it when I watched this and she said that, I was like, it was like a light bulb went off. And I was like, oh my God. Cause she's like, okay, everybody tells you pull everything out of your closet, pull everything out of your drawers so you can really get a look at your inventory. What happens when you do that?
It's overwhelming.
You get overwhelmed.
Yes.
Your anxiety kicks in and you're like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I think
it's like, I'm going to sleep on the couch because I don't even freaking know what.
Well, it's like, just like, have you ever seen like in the Hoarders? You ever watched Hoarder shows? My daughter gets obsessed with the craziest stuff. And so she's had me watch way too many of those shows, but they get so overwhelmed when people are like moving their stuff, because it's at the end of the day, it causes them such anxiety when it's like a mob of people that come in and they got to like start moving all of your things. I think it's the same concept. If all of a sudden somebody comes in and says, we're pulling all this out, you're like, holy shit.
You don't know where. And
you don't. And then you're like, wait a minute. If you touch this, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And then do I want this? Well, maybe I need this. And my mom's really good about helping me go through some of that stuff, because she'll say, come on, you're going to think about this. Let's think about this. Let's think about that. And I think it's kind of, and she's also good at, so there's like the 1 in, 1 out rule. If you bring something in your home, then something has to leave. So my mom is, the one thing I've always loved about her is that she comes and stays with me. So when she does during the summers, especially when we had a whole house full of all of the kids, she would always tell like the kids, okay, we're going to go through your closet and all your stuff and clean your room. And we're going to have to get rid of things if you want something, which I've always was raised. If you want Christmas stuff, you're going to need to get rid of some shit. I'm not buying you a bunch of stuff for you to just have that much more shit. So she was very good about always being like, we need to go through things and we need to be getting rid of stuff and we need to make a Goodwill run or whatever you're going to do. And so she would do it, and you wouldn't believe the relief. I think even my kids felt like, good, I can get stuff now. So to them, it was very rewarding because they were like, I'm going to get some new shit.
Right.
To me, it was rewarding because I just got rid of a bunch of crap that we do not need, that is just cluttering up their room. And if we were not having her do that every single year, you know what shit I would probably have with having 4 kids in my house? I mean, like, it could just get out of control.
Absolutely.
So I do think a simple thing is 1 in, 1 out. So if they get a new toy, they need to get rid of something. If you want to buy something new in your kitchen and you have something that similar or something else that like you really don't use, get it out of your house.
Right. So the cleaner that I do watch, she suggested, instead of pulling everything out all at once, do it by type. So she's like, if you're going into a bedroom, she's like, pull out every sock, and then you get through the socks, and then you move on to your pants and pull out every pant short that you have, but you're not dumping it all. So one, you can stop at any time. It's not overwhelming. And it was like a light bulb moment. And I probably decluttered and went through my room quicker than I ever have in my entire life, because you have your entire inventory right there. Yep. And I'm like, well, I like these more than these, and blah, 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 blah. And went on, I got through, things that are too big, things that are too small. I got through all of that. And then I was thinking, man, this would have been really helpful, when my kids were younger. And it is so tough with young kids and how fast they grow. Like going through clothes was such a fucking pain in the ass, where, you're, and two, you can't just go by size, because a 3T can fit like a 5T and a 5T. So you literally have to like hold it up and be like, okay, this fit last week. Well, this fit. Like, I hated going through kids' clothes. It was so, it was like torture. Yes. So this method that I just recently learned about, doing it by type, it was crazy how quick I made it through my room. Well, and I posted about it. It was on our TikTok.
Yeah. I do think it's good because my mom got on my case for my own closet one time, and she was like, you have got to go through your closet. Now, mind you, my mom is very, like, has a place for everything. She is that person. My closet was not like that bad, but to her, it was, treacherous.
It was dangerous.
So she really, really kept pushing on me. So she got me new hangers from like Sam's. So that everything would match. And then she bought these, like, like when you hang a dress and like people, you get them in a bag or whatever at the cleaners. So these were like the zip up kind that you get. So if you bought some fancy dress somewhere, you put them. But these are not like expensive. They're like, a lesser expensive, cheap one. But she had it to where I could take all dresses and I could put them in bags instead of having all these dresses out. So you could kind of like put them in, these categories. Dresses. Yeah, categories or whatever. And so we went through the whole closet, and at first believe me, I was not really feeling it, not in the mood, but she goes through things kind of that way. So it'd be like, let's go through this drawer first. You know, we're going to get all the socks. We're going to get all this. Or you took off, here's this rack of all of your shirts that are hanging in the closet, or here's all your pants. And so we just did it that way. And it went really, really quick. And she helped me to make sure I got rid of different things and all that, and then reorganized it back. And so now, like, through time and life, obviously you know, start shoving some stuff here and there, but it does make, we're always like, we got to go through the closet again just to get it back in order. But even buying like the hangers and those I never would have thought the bags were that big of a deal, but they make a huge difference to where then all of a sudden, if you want to like just look through, maybe you're just looking at like some of your spring dresses, or maybe you're going to a formal something, I can just grab that bag out and then I can open it up and look and see what I have real quick compared to this flip-flopping around in that area. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Yeah.
So it really helped.
Send them to me and we'll add them to our TikTok shop.
Yeah, because it really, really helped. Now, I know the minimalist, she does the 20-20 rule. So if it can be replaced for under $20 in under 20 minutes, you let it go. That would be half my shit, I think.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I feel like, so that's like if you want to buy a fucking tiny home, if you want to live in a tiny home and you can't have this stuff, but like I have enough space, and I would certainly have enough space if I was organized and got rid of like, you know, half of the 300,000, like I would be. So like, I think it's everything needs a home. And yes, if you want to live the tiny home life, that's freaking fabulous for you. And that's probably a good rule, but I'm not getting rid of shit that I have to replace it. Like I'm not either. But like, I think the point is don't hold on to everything that you might possibly need in the future. Like,
I think there's things where you say like, maybe I might need it though next year. What if I need it in 6 months? And I do think it is a good rule then to say, if it's seriously under $20 and you really are kind of going, I haven't used it in 2 years, but what if I use it in 6 months? I mean, seriously, get rid of it. You probably aren't going to use it. And if you absolutely got to a point at some point in time you needed it back, you could go get that back. I don't think it's a big deal.
For sure. How about the 10-minute reset? So set a timer once a day. Everyone contributes. That's your only expectation. But for 10 minutes a day, you pick up, clean up, declutter.
Well, that rule I think is good. Like my mom always would tell me that when we were kids, we had to clean up the family room. Family could never have anything in it. So if we had toys, blankets, whatever the hell you brought out, right? You're a kid. So you bring anything you brought out, you need to go put it away. And before we went to bed. So it was really maybe 10 minutes, right? That we clean up our shit and then go to bed. So my mom had where my brother didn't always think it was necessary to participate in the 10 minutes. So she told us one night, she was like, listen, what I'm going to do from now on is that if you don't pick it up before you go to bed, then I'm going to wake you up at 2:00 in the morning and then you will go pick it up. Yes, my brother woke up at 2:00 in the morning to pick some shit up one time. I think after that, he decided he didn't really like that so much. So he went back to just doing it in the evening because literally it's 10 minutes, right? If you have your whole family participate and little toddlers can participate in this too, you could do 10 minutes. I think it's smart to do that.
For sure. It's, I have one kid that's very, very clean. One kid that is not. And I am starting to write down some definitive rules in the house. Like if you get it out, you put it away. If you dirty a dish, you put it in the dishwasher. I shouldn't find it in your room. I shouldn't find it on the counter. I shouldn't find it in the sink. And if you go to put something in the dishwasher and it's full, let's try unloading it. Like I am to the point, like I need help. Like they freaking destroy things and I need help. I can't do it all myself. And
that's where I think, like if you talk about like chores and stuff like that, I think what I didn't like is when people would have like these specific chores, like boards. This is your dish night. This is your blah, blah, blah. And I think it made it feel more kind of like, oh my God, my parents have all these rules and I got to do all this stuff. And, where my mom would always just be like, hey, today before you go out anywhere, I just need some help. We got to get your room cleaned up, this bathroom or something. Could you just do it for me before you head out for the day? Like it would be a Saturday to go hang out with your friends or whatever. I think it helps more when there's some sort of, stuff that they have to be involved in, but doesn't have to feel like it's Wednesday night. So my mom said, I got to do the dishes. Like, I just think it kind of feels like heavy. And that's why kids, I think, fight back a lot of times compared to, hey, we just ate and your kids say, I want to go out and so see John down the street. Hey, can you give me 5 minutes really quick? Help me get this cleaned up really fast. And then you can go hang out with John. It doesn't feel as heavy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's a perfect example. Like cleaning up dinner after it happens. I'm freaking terrible at that. And just because I'm tired and I want to go to sleep, but then you start off the next day behind.
Yes, with a mess.
You're already behind.
And really, if the whole family just helps, I mean, that's the whole thing. You know, I think as moms, and I know I do, take on way too much and don't always ask for all the help. But I think that that's exactly why the anxiety gets worse. The sometimes anger moments happen, or just the feelings of depression, guilt, all these different things that happen to moms that don't ask probably for enough help. I think my mom was very much better at it than me for sure, because she would just always say, hey, will you run downstairs really quick and just flip the laundry? So I'd be like, you know, take the stuff out of the dryer, throw another load in, throw the other ones in the dryer. No big deal. And I could fold the load of laundry and I could head out and go do whatever. Well, when you're asked to do it, again, like I said, it takes 5-10 minutes and I'm out the door again. So it wasn't a big deal, but she just didn't have to do all that laundry. That really isn't that difficult, but yet it's another thing on her list that if I just helped, it would make it a lot better. So
sure.
I do think for sure keeping things clean, if you don't make your kids a part of it, it just becomes a harder, chaotic thing. And it makes it where we do things like that more often. Leave the dinner. Well, I will do it tomorrow. Then you wake up to it's messy. Or if you wake up and the kitchen's clean, it's kind of nice, or at least pretty much clean, where you only have like, oh, I'll just throw a few more dishes in and run it. I always like to run my dishwasher at night. I clean everything up, fill the dishwasher, run it. That way in the morning, I'd get up. All I would do is unload it. So for the day, you had an empty dishwasher, and everybody, as they do their stuff, which don't get me wrong, nobody was really the best at it, but at least if they put it in the sink, I would just throughout the day, every so often, just throw stuff into the dishwasher. I always ask for people to help to do that, but not saying they're perfect about it, but it would make my life a lot easier.
No, and I feel like if I did a better job of keeping up with it and whatever, but like, I mean, it's not rocket science and it's not that fucking hard. If you eat Pop-Tarts, throw the fucking paper away. Throw the paper away. If you eat a piece of candy, fucking put it in the trash.
Try waking up at 2:00 in the morning and come pick it up.
I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to start. I seriously think I'm going to start. But again, like if I have 3 months of mail sitting on the counter, like it's so easy to just accumulate more shit.
Oh, I'm the worst about mail.
If I could get my life under control, then
worst.
I would be able to better enforce the rules. Because I'll be like, clean your room. They'll be like, look at yours. And I'll be like, fuck you. I'm the mom. Like, whatever. But it's something that we can all work on. So I'm hoping, and 2026 is my year to have less stuff, to have less clutter, less chaos, and just live and lead a simpler, easier life. And I know it's easier said than done, right?
Oh, yes.
But there are things that we can do, like by having less things that make it easier. We carry the mental load. It's not just stuff. It's the decision making behind the stuff. Where does this go? Who used this last? Do I need to keep it? Can I donate it? Does this toy have missing pieces? Do I need to keep this art project because of mom guilt?
Right. Like that's what I said. I mean, seriously, like clutter becomes guilt, and then guilt makes anxiety worse. And I think it's important. I think that a lot of the homes that people have all that clutter, ultimately, we've got to realize what it's doing to our mental health. We're not just looking at a pile. We're looking at 20 tiny decisions we don't have capacity for.
1000%. And it just the whole time we've talked, it's just overwhelming. It's overwhelming. It's too much. Less stuff equals more peace.
Yeah. Anxiety brain doesn't rest in clutter. They go into problem solving. So our home, the place that's supposed to be our safe place, actually becomes a thing that keeps us in fight or flight mode.
For sure. We spend 5,000 hours looking for lost items. And if you're a mom, 4,000.
Or if you're Kylie, you spend 10,000. But yes. Okay, go on.
Yes. And then if you're Kylie, 9,990 of those hours are finding your stuff your kids swore they had just in their hand just a second ago. But you know that they carried it out of their house and took it to their dad's. But you can't prove it because you haven't done laundry in a month. It's a fucking problem. Why do I hate laundry? My mom's like, just load the dishwasher before you go to bed, empty it in the morning,
yes,
do one load of laundry a day. And it's like fucking torture.
It's true.
It's torture.
But I'm not kidding you. When you do that, I do that. Those are the things I do. And if you do that, you would not believe how much easier things are and how much less stressful it is. If you just know.
Am I lazy? Am I just fucking lazy?
Well, everybody wants to be lazy, not have to sit on. I mean, I would rather sit on the couch and do something. But when I sit and I think I could either wake up to the dishes where they're clean in the dishwasher to where I can just right before you go to your desk, you're like, I have to give 10 extra minutes. That's all I'm going to give, 10 extra minutes. I'm going to unload those clean dishes. That's all I'm going to do. And now everything's clean.
I think I'm just a brat because I want to kick and scream and be like, why am I the only one that can
But that's why you need to. Well, I always did that all the time. But I think that's why you have to make that the kids have to help you either if it's like after dinner, Brad, the kids, everybody, to wipe down the counters. They can at least wipe the table off maybe. They could do something so that way all you are doing is I'm going to fill the dishwasher and then in the morning I'll empty it. Yes. And then you can press upon them, not that it works, but you can press upon them to participate that if they've used a glass, put it in the dishwasher because the dishwasher's empty and needs to be filled with dirty dishes, that kind of stuff. It does help. Truly what your mom's telling you is truly makes a world of difference and it doesn't take that long. I think that's the problem is, even when I was managing at the other job, people would always be like, I just don't have enough time to get anything done. When I know for a fact they have plenty of time to be having chit chat talks with everybody. And I'm all for that. I really do not believe that people can be focused 8 hours on their job and not have some bits and pieces here and there socialization. I think it's good too. And I think sometimes it's good even of a day that maybe it's not as productive as maybe the last day was for my group, but it kind of like got them back in order and maybe functioning as a team better. But I would always say, okay, you say you don't have enough time in a day, but let's talk about what it is that you actually have to do. And why don't you tell me how long it takes you to do those tasks? And as soon as they would get into just a few tasks, they would stop talking about it because they realize you have nowhere near 8 hours worth of work, which is why I know at the end of the day, you can have some of your socialization, but you still could do even probably more, even with your work and be more efficient and get stuff done if all you really did is really broke it down to see what it is that you have responsibilities. So it's no different than in your home. Your home is a business truly of the same process.
I hear you and I agree. And I also manage these same people. And I will say that is a lot of them. Yes. But I will also say that when you have so many things, I think that being overwhelmed has people shut down. And I think that,
but I think that's okay. But that's where a boss should be knowing. If let's say somebody has a point where they're like, that they are a full capacity person. We know our workers, people that will feel that responsibility, people that will do extra when they don't have to, those people, a lot of times they do get to that point where they, for sure, those people especially can overwhelm themselves. But even these other people that overwhelm themselves, as soon as you show them, why don't we just make it, let's kind of lay out your day a little bit more. It shows them that they don't have to feel overwhelmed if they would kind of plan it.
They can't do anything productive because they're so overwhelmed by all the shit that they think they have to do. So a lot of it is just a battle in your mind.
Yes, it really is. So when you kind of put it down on let's plan out the day instead, if I got in here at 8, I'll let you make your coffee. I'll let you go to the bathroom. I'll even let you do a few things. So let's start at 8:30. Try to even make it to where it's seems not so you know what I mean? For a lot of the people who have a basic typical day and yet they get overwhelmed in it, that's perfectly normal and okay to have happen, but they think they do need help. No different than decluttering their home, the same way to say, let's put a list together. What really tasks do you have to do? I would even be told, here, make a list of all the things that you want to accomplish today, but know that these few things, if I don't get to these 3 things at the bottom of my list, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Your list can even be fuller than what you plan that you can get done. But the goal of just saying, hey, I did a great job. I got these 5 things done. I still have those 3 things. It's fine. I'll add that to my list tomorrow at the top of the list maybe, and I'll add more. You know what I'm saying? So you just have this rotating list. Then you have the people too that literally they have too much work on their plate. And as a boss, that's a totally different situation. We need to be making sure we're never overworking somebody. But I think most people get overwhelmed in their mind. And as soon as you help them realize what you can create their day to be, it's not that overwhelming when you put it on paper. It's just in your mind. You make it bigger than it is. No different than I'm going to go clean my closet. To one person, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm having heart palpitations. Where's the chair? I need to sit down. Right? And the next person will say, this isn't a big deal. Let's just do one drawer at a time. If we even get through the socks, the underwear, and the shorts today, that's a win.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Baby steps.
I think it's the same thing even in your home. Just like going back to that 40% of housework is purely clutter, not dirt, not filth, just stuff we don't even use. So making a list and going through things of priorities of what you want to do, when you want to do it,
And that's what's so appealing to me about being a minimalist. It's because less stuff would equal less noise in my head.
Yes, it's truly would make a big difference. Minimalist is not about owning nothing. I mean, I think people always think it's about like, well, you want me to have no shit. It's about owning only what actually supports your life. And most people have 300,000 items in their home, as we have learned today.
Yes, for sure.
That's too much shit.
So here's a quick challenge. Pick one thing today that's been sitting out for over a week that belongs somewhere else and put it away. Put it away. Donating one bag of stuff is progress.
If it's not adding to my peace, it's taking from it. Everything in your home should either serve your family, support your routine, or spark joy.
As Marie Kondo says, if it doesn't bring you joy, get rid of it.
A lot of shit doesn't bring me joy in my house, but I just feel like I do need it.
Be getting rid of a lot of shit. I'd go from about 10,000 to 3. 6, including my animals. But if it does none of those, it's clutter disguised. If it doesn't serve your family, support your routine, or spark joy. If it does none of those, it's clutter disguised as maybe useful someday. At the end of the day, we want to feel safe in our homes. We want to walk in, exhale, and not tense up.
Your home is not supposed to be the enemy. Your home is not supposed to be one more thing that drains your energy.
So if you need permission to release, let go, donate, declutter, this is it. We're heading into the 2026 very, very soon. So you're allowed to choose peace over stuff. Let's do it. 2026, we're choosing peace over stuff.
That would be nice. That's my goal.
Yes. And just to be clear, you don't have to be a perfect minimalist. I still have random crap. I will always have random crap. Mom life is messy.
But choosing less stuff is choosing less anxiety.
Yes. So if you needed a sign to clean out that junk drawer or donate the clothes you've been avoiding, this is it, friends.
Your home should be your safe place, not another source of anxiety.
We love you guys. Make sure to follow us, leave us a 5-star review, and tell us your favorite decluttering trick, because anxious moms need all of the hacks we can get.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
If no one's told you lately, let me be the one to say it. You're not failing, you're growing. You're not broken, you're becoming. And you're doing better than you think.
Thanks for being here today. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love if you'd subscribe, leave a review, or share it with another mom who might need to hear this. You can also connect with us on Facebook or TikTok at the ARMC. We'd love to hear your story.
Until next time, give yourself grace, breathe deep, and remember, peace is possible.